Today, we are going to talk about a wine some have called the rising star of the wine world.
Ooh, must be famous.
And while its first name is Cabernet, its last name is entirely different.
Oh, really?
We're not talking about the overrated and overexposed Cabernet Sauvignon. No.
Fee you.
We are talking about Cabernet Franc,
Ah,
which is the Cabernet we want you to become friends with.
nice.
Hello, fellow wine explorers, and welcome to the Wine Pair Podcast. I'm Joe, your sommelier of reasonably priced wine, and this is my wife and my wine pairing partner in crime, Carmela.
Hi there.
And we are the Wine Pair.
Whoa.
If you're new to our podcast, here's what you can expect. If you love wine and want to find great wines at affordable prices, and you want to expand your wine horizons, and you want to have some laughs and fun while doing it, then you're in the right place. Because each week we explore a different wine varietal, style, brand, or region of the winemaking world and learn about what makes them worth knowing about.
Nice.
And then we taste 2 to 3 of those wines that are reasonably priced to let you know if they're worth your hard-earned money. So if that feels like your vibe, then we're super happy you're here.
Yes.
And we're proud to say that Decanter Magazine calls us fun, irreverent,
Chatty.
and entertaining. Okay, Carmela, I did do something different there in the opening.
Oh my God, I think you threw me off.
I know, and we'd like to know what you guys think. Should we call all of you out there in listening land wine explorers, or should we call you wine nerds, or wine enthusiasts, or wine nuts, or wine geeks, or something else, or nothing else?
Maybe they don't. Yeah, I wonder. Why do we have to call them anything?
Well, maybe we want to call them something. You know, just kind of like we're part of a tribe. We're kind of creating our own tribe here.
Like everybody belongs.
But here's the special deal: if we end up using your idea, we will put you on the podcast.
Oh, what does that mean?
We'll do a recording with them, and then we'll splice it into the podcast when we edit it.
Okay.
It's kind of fun.
Come on, you guys.
Yeah,
Step on up.
So maybe you're more clever. Hopefully, you're more clever than me, for sure.
That was good. I noticed it was different. I think it was nice.
Thank you for noticing.
You know,
Carmela.
you were including. You're very inclusive, right?
I'm trying to be inclusive.
Nice.
That's important. Okay, Carmela, this week we're going to finally get to one of the wines that listener Justin L., who's been very patient, asked us to do an episode on. And this week we are talking about the other Cabernet Franc. Now, we did do a What the episode on Cabernet Franc.
A long time ago, right?
Yeah, that was almost 3 years ago.
Holy cow, how long have we been doing this?
I knew you were going to say that. And so we think it's time to... Don't remind her. So we think it's time to revisit this wine that has been called, as we mentioned in the introduction, the rising star of the wine world. And so you can learn even more about this fabulous wine. We are going to give you all new, or mostly all new, information in this episode about this wine, and we're going to taste and review 2 well-rated Cabernet Francs to see if you should try and find them. Now, the first question on your mind may be...
what's for dinner?
That probably is a better question than the question I have on my mind. And that is, what is the difference between Cabernet Franc and Cabernet Sauvignon?
Oh, true. What is the difference, Joe?
You know, I am so glad you asked, and I'm not being smug about that. I'm being serious.
No, I know.
Okay. Don't you think that's probably what a lot of people are wondering?
Well, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. All those explorers out there, if they're in the same mindset as you are, they're wondering.
Yeah, wine nerds, wine nuts, whatever. They want to know.
Nuts. I don't know about that one. Wine
You
nerds.
don't like nuts. Okay, here we go. Here's some fun facts to let you know the difference. The first thing to know is that Cabernet Franc is actually one of the parents of Cabernet Sauvignon, with the other being Sauvignon Blanc.
Oh, so it's superior.
Well, I don't know. Do you think parents are superior to their children?
No.
Okay. So it's just a parent. It's not a parent, but it is a parent of that grape, which I think is kind of interesting.
Okay, the parent grape.
Yeah, that's right. Now, Cabernet Franc does better in cooler climates, while Cabernet Sauvignon tends to do really well in warm climates, which is why you find so much Cab Sauv in places like California and eastern Washington state, and maybe why you don't see as much Cab Franc. Cabernet Franc tends to be lighter in color than Cabernet Sauvignon. The grapes have thinner skins, it's more medium-bodied, and has less tannin than Cabernet Sauvignon, which are all things that we prefer in our wines, which is something listeners should know about us in terms of our wine preferences.
When you buy us that next bottle of wine, just keep that in mind.
I agree with that. I was more thinking about when we do our tasting, that maybe our tasting might be different than yours. But you know what? Buy us that wine. Let's go. Okay, Cabernet Franc also has more acidity than Cabernet Sauvignon, which makes it a more versatile food wine, and it's less prone to being flabby or flat, which can happen to a lot of Cabernet Sauvignon or men as they grow older.
Wow. Did you want to just make sure I was listening?
Yeah, I did, kind of. In terms of aroma and taste, Carmela, Cabernet Franc tends to be more red fruit oriented. So think like tart cherry or raspberry or strawberry, red plum. And sometimes it's said to have a vegetal and floral and herb notes. And then of the two, Cabernet Franc is the more likely to have minerality. Whether or not that exists, we don't know. But we like to talk about it. Mm-hmm. Now, Cabernet Sauvignon, on the other hand, tends to be more dark or black fruit oriented, like berries and dark cherries and black plum and black currant. And of the two, it's more likely to have notes of baking spices, pencil lead, wood box, leather, tar, those kinds of things.
Okay.
Now, Cabernet Franc, Carmela, unfortunately doesn't tend to age as well as Cabernet Sauvignon, so it's often best within the first 5 to 10 years, while some people think that a Cabernet Sauvignon, a good one, doesn't even start to get good until 10 years in.
I kind of like that about the Cabernet Franc, though.
Exactly. You can just kind of pop it open and enjoy it a little younger. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be so patient.
Right.
And in terms of food pairing, Cabernet Franc is going to pair with a wider variety of foods, from white meat to red meat and soups and stews and pastas and other red sauce dishes, while Cabernet Sauvignon is like a steakhouse wine. Mm-hmm. It's going to overpower a lot of other things other than things with a lot of fat and that are rich and hearty.
Okay.
And no comments about people like your husband.
What? I didn't say a word.
I know you didn't. You're very good. Ladies and gentlemen, you should all know that Carmela is very nice. Okay, anyway, I don't know.
What was that?
I don't know. I hope you all know that. Okay, so in essence, while Cabernet Sauvignon is the powerful, bold, and more robust wine, often associated with dark fruit and firm tannins, Cabernet Franc is lighter and more elegant and a fragrant wine that is appreciated for its red fruit, floral, herbaceous notes, higher acidity, smoother texture, and more versatility with food.
I mean, if I was going to have a friend, I think I'd want a Cabernet Franc over a Cabernet Sauvignon.
Yeah, and by the way, I mean, Franc is just kind of a nicer name for a person anyway.
I don't know about that.
You don't think so?
I don't know. That's a matter of an opinion. But those qualities that you gave seem a little friendlier to me.
I agree. Because often what we say is a Cabernet Sauvignon is a punch you in the face wine.
Right.
And who wants to get punched in the face?
No, especially by your friend. I mean, what kind of friend is that?
So true. Okay, Carmela, but we're not here to talk about Cabernet Sauvignon.
Or friends.
Well, we're here to talk about your new friend. Cabernet Franc, and we're here to taste and review a couple of pretty highly rated and still reasonably priced Cabernet Francs to see if they are worth your hard-earned money. But first,
you got to do our shameless plug.
I caught her in the middle of a yawn. Okay, thank you for listening to us and supporting our show. And if you haven't had the chance to do so yet, now would be a wonderful time to follow or subscribe to our podcast and leave us a nice rating and review. That helps us grow listeners. And a huge thank you to all of you who have done that, subscribed or rated us already. You can follow us on Instagram at The Wine Pair Podcast and on Blue Sky. You can contact us on our website, thewinepairpodcast.com. You can sign up for our email newsletter there. And you can also visit our shop wine and shop accessories sections where you can find links to wines that we rate 7 or higher, which is a buy rating, or to great gifts and accessories. And we want to make content you care about and that you like. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute.
Caring versus liking.
It's so different.
I mean, it is. I mean, again, back to like,
should I say
children.
That you care about instead of like?
Well,
I like that. I did say care about. I can't even read my own script.
What did you say it again about?
I said content you care about and like. I think that's a bonus.
I think like, again,
because
back
you can
to
care
people,
about somebody and not like them.
That's what I mean. Like if you're talking about like, I mean, I care and like my children, but I think that people sometimes
you only care about
them.
Me.
And it's just like and love, right? Like you always love your spouse, but maybe you don't like that. No, that's not true. I always like you, but I mean...
I don't always love you. That's what you wanted to say.
Well, you wrote that because you say that every week. I am thinking like, maybe if you care about it, when it comes to wine, you probably like it too.
Yeah, probably. I don't know where that went, but I like it. And it's going to be a great segue into our little shout outs. Okay. So anyway, send us a note or a DM or give us some feedback. We want feedback. Let us know if there's wines you want us to try or winemaking areas of the world that you're curious about, or if there's somebody on the podcast that you think is rude to the other one. Just let us know.
What?
You can do that. Just email me at Joe at the Wine Pair. Yeah. Just email me at Joe at the winepairpodcast.com. So now a couple of shout outs, Carmela. A shout out to Ted. He sent us a really nice note to tell us he enjoys our content. And he thinks if he did a podcast with his wife, it would be similar. And he likes it when we talk about James Suckling because we always make fun of him.
He must not like James Suckling.
I don't think
but
so.
But he might care about him.
He might.
You're
right.
know.
You're right. Also a shout out to JDM on Blue Sky, who agreed that hot weather can make wines taste crappy if they get too warm. And I ran into that this last weekend at our son's performance of The Winter's Tale. I had a Pinot Noir and it got warm and it just didn't taste very good. And on that same note, a shout out to Tips to Live By on Blue Sky, who responded to that same Blue Sky post sharing that her Pinot got warmer as she was drinking it outside.
That sounds dirty.
What part of it? That she was drinking outside?
No, not
that
her.
It got hot?
No, it just sounds like, God. Has nothing to do with her, just the way you said it.
So, you know what? It's not often the word Pinot becomes dirty, but there you go. Okay.
I need to just get my mind out of the gutter,
I guess so.
Wow.
I don't mind it, but it's okay. And as we do every week, we'll tell you someone we think you should recommend the Wine Pair podcast to, because the best way for us to grow listeners is when you tell your family and friends about us. And this week, we want you to recommend us to anyone who's stuck on Cabernet Sauvignon, or as your mom would say, stuck on stupid, because they need to learn about one of its parents, and who may or may not be better, and learn that there is much, much more to life and wine than Cabernet Sauvignon.
True.
So we talked about how Cabernet Franc is different from Cabernet Sauvignon, Carmela. But now it's time to learn about just what the Cabernet Franc is.
Okay, I'm ready.
Or at least reacquaint ourselves.
Okay,
I'm glad you're ready. Okay, so I'm betting that some of you have run across Cabernet Franc and really were not sure what wine it was. Like, is this different from Cabernet Sauvignon? And you really just didn't even know what to make of it. It can be confusing, right? They have the same first name, right? It gets confusing.
Right.
You may go, wait, is this just a different version of Cabernet Sauvignon? I guess in some ways it kind of is, but it's really a different wine. So a little bit of background. Despite being the parent of not only Cabernet Sauvignon, but also Merlot and also Carmenere, it is considered to be an ancient grape, but there is some mystery behind the origins of Cabernet Franc. It's believed to have originated in the Basque region that covers both France and Spain, and historical records date it back to the 17th century, and they indicate that it was flourishing in the Loire Valley of France at that time. However, it just doesn't seem to have the same clarity of history that other grapes often do. It kind of just showed up. Now, speaking of the Loire, its home is considered to be the Loire Valley in France, where it was originally known as Boucher. I don't know where it got Cabernet Franc, but it was Boucher, kind of bougie Boucher. Right. And by the 18th century, it had started to show up in other places in France and Europe, most notably Bordeaux, where it's still a really important blending grape. Now, despite being the parent of two of the best-known grapes in the world, in Merlot and Cabernet Sauvignon, it's been kind of a lesser-known and more hidden gem. Part of that's because its role has been as kind of the backstop or support to other grapes, because again, it's traditionally been more of a blending grape. And it is an important understudy, as it is one of the most planted grapes in Bordeaux. So I don't know if you knew that.
Wow.
But that's actually the truth.
Wow.
Okay, thank you for
chiming in.
I appreciate you.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow. Now, just wow again.
Yes, thank you. Now, in the Loire Valley, it's more of the star of the show. It's often bottled as a single varietal, and in fact, today, 50% of all Cabernet Franc vines are in France, and 49% of all those vines are in the Loire Valley, so it's really important there. And you may have heard of the wine Chinon. Chinon, which is actually an appellation in the Loire Valley, and it's famous for its Cabernet Franc wines, and there 95% of the vineyards grow Cabernet Franc. So,
wow.
Something to put in your brain box. You know, we brought this up last week.
Wow.
Things to put in your brain box.
Fill your brain box.
If you see Chinon, think Cabernet Franc.
And you will be the most popular person in the room.
Yeah. So
People
true.
will be like, my brain box is blown.
How did you know that?
Wow.
How did you know that? Now, although most of the Cabernet Franc grown is in France, you can now find it being grown in many, many parts of the world. And again, you out there and listening to land may have started to see Cabernet Franc show up in stores and restaurants and some other places. But places that it grows includes Italy, Hungary, Canada, Chile, Argentina, the U.S., namely states like California and New York and Washington and Virginia and Michigan, but also Australia and New Zealand and Bulgaria and Croatia and even China.
Wow.
So it's being grown in a lot of places. Now, remember, Carmela, I mentioned that some consider it a rising star in the wine world. Remember I said that? We said that?
Even though it's been around such a long time and it's the parent and everything else?
I mean, it's kind of true. It's like, where have you been? Where have we been? Where have we been?
I don't know.
How do we not know that?
Let's figure this out.
But some writers and experts have started to notice, again, as maybe some of you have, and here's some quips from them, okay? In an article from The Wine Economist from this past December, author Mike Vesith said that it is starting to be respected as a terroir wine.
Oh, wow. The big terroir.
Terroir, he used a big word. And by that, what he means is it does a good job of reflecting the vineyard where it comes from. So winemakers really like this wine because they can make their own distinctive versions. So that's kind of fun. So winemakers starting to play around with it a little bit more. And then in another article from Forbes by Liz Thatch, I think, and like our other reference material, you can find links to the articles we use and we put in our shows, in our show notes. Did you know we have show notes, Carmela?
Knew that. I did know that.
I'm so glad you know that. And Liz, by the way, said that even in the Napa Valley, wine drinkers are finding a lot to love in Cabernet Franc because it's lighter and more elegant than Cabernet Sauvignon, again, which tends to be a like punch you in the face wine.
Ouch.
And it's more versatile with food. And so it's a better, like I would just say this, for a summer wine, Cabernet Franc is going to be a better summer wine than a Cabernet Sauvignon, because when those things get hot, they get real messy. They get messy. And then, as is the case, Carmela, when you learn something new, now that you've been listening to this podcast, I bet you're going to start seeing Cabernet Franc all over the place.
So true.
Don't you think that happens?
Yeah, absolutely. With everything.
Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, by the way, this came up. Yeah. All right. But on that note, I think it's time to learn a little bit more about the specific wines we're drinking today. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right. So as usual, the wine, I don't know why I'm so excited. All right. So excited about that.
My goodness.
The wines we have chosen for this episode are under $25.
Woo!
And they should be relatively easy to find because I bought them both at wine.com.
Nice.
And again, Cabernet Franc should not be hard to find, even in your local grocery store, although you may just find it in the Cabernet Sauvignon section. But any decent wine shop will not only have Cabernet Franc, but they can certainly source some good ones for you if you ask. The first wine we're going to try today is the 2021 Henri Bourgeois Wine Petit Bourgeois Cabernet Franc. This wine is technically designated as an IGP. Now, if you're wondering what that stands for.
What does it stand for, Joe?
It means Protected Geographical Indication. So it's very similar to the IGT, which you see in Italy. And that just means it's guaranteed to be from a specific area, and it's a specific wine, but the rules are less strict than those for like AOCs, which is the higher designation in France. It doesn't mean it's not good quality. It just means that they are looser in requirements and regulations. That's all it means. Now, this wine comes from Sancerre, which is, of course, famous for their white Sancerre, which is Sauvignon Blanc, one of our favorito wines. And I have also really enjoyed Pinot Noirs from Sancerre, which are often called Sancerre Rouge. And I think this Cabernet Franc, therefore, could be really nice too, because I think it's a little bit similar to a Pinot Noir.
You'll be happy about that.
I definitely. Now, there was a tech sheet for this wine, which I always like. And the winery says, the winery says the wine is macerated for 10 to 12 days. Remember, maceration means that they leave the juice in contact with the skins and the seeds and other stuff to extract more flavor. And then after that 10 to 12 days, it undergoes malolactic fermentation in stainless steel tanks. And as a reminder, malolactic fermentation kind of tamps down on the acidity of a wine. But it doesn't look like it's oaked, so I expect a really clean and bright wine, maybe with some roundness because of the malolactic fermentation. The winery says this about their background. For 10 generations, I should do it in a French accent.
Oh,
But
God.
I don't know if I can.
Ooh.
I'm not going to do that. We have offered our passion and values as wine growers to develop
you
Sauvignon
just couldn't
Blancs
resist.
and Pinot Noirs of great character. Established in Chavignon, in the heart of the best terroirs of Sancerre and Pouilly-Fumé, we cultivate a mosaic of plots respecting our unique terroirs
Wait
of
a
Cabernet, Marsilex, and Limestone clays.
I don't even know what you're saying.
I don't
now.
either, but it was kind of fun to
Did you understand that? Let us know.
let us know. I don't know. Now, the second wine we're going to drink is the 2020 Caican Indomito Cabernet Franc from the Mendoza area of Argentina. And that's an area that's said to be making some really good Cabernet Franc. Now, in the 2021 version, they did mix in some Cabernet Sauvignon, but not in the one we're tasting, the 2020. But I thought I'd just mention that because although it says it's a single varietal, and a lot of times, this is just something to note, a wine that's a single varietal on the label can still have other grapes in it. Like, for instance, in some areas of the United States, I believe in California, it only has to be 75% of that wine or that grape to be called a single varietal. So it's just something to note. Like, you may think, oh, it's 100% this, but it may not be. So it's just something to look into. But so this version, the 2020 version, may be different than the 2021 version because they have Cabernet Sauvignon in that one. We also have a text sheet for this wine, and they say the soil in this area is silty loam and the climate is semi-arid. However, the elevation of the vineyard is like over 3,000 feet.
Wow.
So that tamps down on the heat during the day quite a bit. In terms of how the wine is made, this is kind of interesting. They say they harvest by hand in March. And remember, in the southern hemisphere, the seasons are flipped. They also select grapes by hand at the winery. They macerate for 4 days at low temperature before they ferment. And then they ferment for 7 days at a warm temperature of about 80 degrees Fahrenheit in concrete tanks with native yeast. And then they macerate again after fermentation for 20 days. So they're trying to extract a lot of flavor out of this wine. They also use malolactic fermentation, and they age the wine for 10 months in concrete tanks and then age in the bottle for 4 months before releasing. So again, from what I can tell, no oak on this wine. Now, this wine is pretty high in alcohol. It's 14.5%.
Wow.
Which is 1.5 percentage points above the first wine that we're going to drink.
Okay.
So I am expecting kind of a different experience between these two wines.
Sure.
Now, this is kind of, I thought I'd just share this a little bit long, but I thought I'd just share this little note from the winery. Does anybody remember, this is my preamble. Does anybody remember what was going on in March of 2020?
I think so.
I think so. This is what they say. The 2020 harvest was warm and dry, which contributed to an earlier ripening stage when compared to previous years. There were fewer berries per cluster, so yield significantly decreased. While this may not be entirely positive in terms of quantity, the grape concentration and skin quality obtained were absolutely splendid. Without a doubt, this season will be remembered as one of the most challenging ever, not only because of the technical skills required, but also because of the global pandemic that was spreading at the time. In this sense, understanding climate conditions and grape characteristics proved essential to identify the right times for maceration and the logistics required. So, not to bring back bad times, but it is very hard to believe it's been 5 years since we went through all that crap. But think about this. Sometimes wine, I'm going to really digress for a minute. Sometimes they say like wine is a moment in time. You know, it's bottled, it's picked at a particular time, it's bottled at a particular time, you know, it's got a vintage. So this wine was made in March of 2020 when the shit was starting to hit the fan. So imagine what these people were going through. All the people in the Southern Hemisphere who make wine or doing other things, what they were going through at the time, they were probably worried. They didn't know how to handle things. You know, it's like, remember how crazy it was at that time?
Right. Then they probably had to make accommodations in terms of like how they were going to harvest the grapes and
who could be around.
Right.
You know, like, could they have a full in the winery production plant? Could everybody be in there? I don't know.
I mean, no, probably not.
So think about all that. So, I mean, I don't mean, again, to bring up bad memories, but I do think it's interesting to drink a wine that was made exactly at the height of when things were going cuckoo. Anyway, I think that's enough information. Let's get to drinking. What do you say, Carmela?
Sounds like a plan.
And please, if you have a Cabernet Franc or another wine you just want to drink along with us, have some fun, drink with us, compare tasting notes, even if it's a totally different wine, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Okay, we are back and we're ready to try our first wine. This is the Henri Bourgeois wine, Petit Bourgeois Cabernet Franc. It's from the Loire Valley of France. It was vintage 2021, $17.97 at wine.com, 13% alcohol, 100% Cabernet Franc. And Wilfred Wong from wine.com gave it a 91, although Vivino only gave it a 3.6. So we'll see what we think about that. But Carmela, what do you think about the color first?
It's pretty. It's not as, it's dark, but it's not inky.
No, but I was expecting a little bit more of like a Pinot Noir kind of.
Oh, yeah.
And it's darker than that.
It is darker than that. Yeah.
It's kind of shimmery.
You can't really see through it.
No, it's pretty opaque.
Yeah.
But it's pretty. You're right. It is pretty.
Yeah.
What are you smelling?
Well, there's some fruit on it for sure. I think I'm getting some cranberry, maybe some smoke. Maybe even like something syrupy, like a raspberry syrup.
I think syrupy, yeah.
What
I think it's really perfumey.
Oh, really?
My first thought was it's very perfumey and very...
Like rose or like potpourri?
Yeah, very floral. Very floral.
Okay.
And I'm getting, I think, some of those same things. Maybe a little bit of like, I don't know, it's almost plummy, like it's got a little spice on it, a little plum.
Kind of like a, those anise, those stars, So like I could almost see like, what do you call those drinks? Like a spiced.
Yeah, like a mulled wine or something.
A mulled wine. Yep, a mulled wine a little bit on this.
Yeah. It's not as red fruit as I thought it would be. It's almost a little dark fruit.
Yeah. I'm getting a little bit of that, with the cranberry.
Cranberry. Okay, well let's taste it and see what we think.
Okay.
I'll say it's in the nose it felt really big. It didn't taste as big in the mouth. It's more like a medium mouthfeel. It's got some I think it's got a little bit of cherry or raspberry or something on it.
It's a little tart.
It's a little tart.
More tart than I thought it was going to be.
I agree. And then at the end, it ends really like with a bitter end, like stone, like there's stone on it at the end. And it doesn't have I wouldn't say it has grippy tannins, but there's some interesting like tea-like tannin at the end.
Yeah, I can get behind that for sure. I think I was expecting it, it actually to me tastes a little young, even though I know you can drink it.
And it's a 2021, so it's not like super young.
No, but it has that taste, that tartness that is a little again, I'm kind of getting cranberry or pomegranate, something I am getting kind of crunchy fruits on the taste more than the smell.
I think you're right. I think that I'm 100% with you.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I think surprising from usually you have a certain expectation when you smell something.
And it definitely is different. It's nice. It's not, I don't mind it at all. It's just pretty different from what you smell.
Yeah. I'd say it's pleasant. It's very pleasant.
Yes.
What food would you have with the Henri Petit Bourgeois?
Well, like you said, I think it's more versatile than like a Cabernet Sauvignon. I think you could do, I definitely feel like it's a little bit of a fall wine. Like I could see stew or a pot roast with lots of veggies, kind of that richness of a stew would go really nicely with this. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you. Although I do think, this is a wine. It's got good acidity. It's got a nice end on it. I do feel like it's probably very good with food. So like you said, very versatile. I could see this with grilled chicken. I could see this with eggplant parmigiana.
Ooh.
I could see this with cheese and meat board.
I can see that, yeah.
So I think it's pretty versatile.
This says, what did you say? This says 2022 on the cork.
Oh. You're right. 2020. It does say, wait, but what does it say on the bottle?
2022.
Oh, I got the totally wrong wine. No, you called me out, Carmela.
Uh-oh. Did you not mean to open this?
No. I just had it. I don't know why I had it down as a 2021. Maybe wine.com sent me the wrong wine.
See, I'm actually listening to you.
It's such a nice job. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's true. I make mistakes every once in a while.
I know, believe it or not. He's not perfect.
This is real.
Practically perfect.
And now you know it's real. We're doing this live. We are, of course it's recorded, but we're not This is
making
just what
this
happened.
kind of stuff up. You
That's
can't
right.
make this up.
You can't make this shit up, right? You can't make quality like this up. This is the quality we bring to you week in, week out.
Wow, look at us.
Yeah. Carmela's like, you spend all that GD time putting these stupid episodes together,
no.
and you can't even get the date right.
I almost didn't say anything because I was like, that's not nice.
You
but
called
then-
me out. You called me out. It's fine.
It's just, it was staring right at me. See?
I wish you guys could see. Maybe, one day we'll do a YouTube video, but like that was pretty funny. She just lifted it up over the computer screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna rate this wine. I'm so embarrassed.
No,
We're gonna-
you're not.
No, not really. Okay, as a reminder on our rating scale, we rate on a scale of 1 to 10. We don't give half points. 7 and above means we'd buy it. 4 and below means we're gonna pour it down the sink. And a 5 or a 6 means we're gonna drink it. We'll finish it, but we won't buy it. Carmela, what rating would you give this wine?
Well, I don't know if I'm just a little crabby tonight. Because I was like, there's nothing wrong with it. Like it's nice.
Okay, true confession. It's not a week. Usually we do this on Fridays. It's not a Friday. So
Do you think that changes things?
We've thrown ourselves off a little bit.
It's like a midweek podcast.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's why. I don't know. And part of me is like, it's definitely like a 6 or a 7. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure that I would buy it. There's nothing like extra special about it.
So what do you think?
I'm going to give it a 6 for now.
You know what? I'm exactly the same place as you.
Oh, look at us.
As I was tasting it, I was like, would I buy this? Like, I like the wine.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if I would buy it.
Yeah, that's what I can't, because sometimes you have to just decide, wait, is there another bottle you would buy before this?
And there is.
There are, yeah.
But again, if we went to your house.
Wait, my house?
No, we're at our house.
I was going to
I'm
say.
at your house.
I was just trying to figure
house.
that out. Like, do I have another house?
I don't know.
Do
Do
I
you?
have a house?
Do you?
I don't know. You said when we go to your house.
No,
so.
I was talking to the people out there in listening land.
Oh, you
the
mean
wine
our
enthusiasts.
wine
Nerds.
nuts.
Guests.
You said wine nuts earlier.
Wine nuts.
Be our guest.
Yes.
Be our wine guest.
When we go to your house and you serve this to us, we're okay.
Oh,
we're not gonna go like, oh my God, I can't believe they served that.
I don't think we would do that about anything. I mean, you might.
I might, because I'm the jerk. But anyway, I'm just not as clever as I think I am. That's getting erased. But no, I mean, that's why I think it's a good 6 rating. I enjoy this wine.
Yes.
But I don't think I'd buy it.
Okay.
All right,
Fair enough.
let's take a break and try our next wine.
All right.
Okay, we are back and we are ready to try our second wine. We almost had a little spill there, but we caught it. This is the Caken Indomito Cabernet Franc. It's from Mendoza, Argentina. This one really is a 2020. I double checked the bottle. I wasn't wrong. This one really is from March of 2020. Got it at wine.com. 14.5% alcohol, 100% Cabernet Franc. Vinius gave this a 91 and Vivino gave it a higher score at 3.9. But Carmela, let's look at the color again. It's actually, I think, darker maybe than the last one.
It could be.
It's purple.
Yeah. It's pretty. Again, very pretty. It doesn't have it's very purple rather than, doesn't look old. Sometimes they look kind of brownish around the rim.
No, it's almost a little bit ruby around the edge, I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like pretty red. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's, what are you smelling?
This one, I know you said this was much higher in alcohol, right?
Yeah, 14 and a
I
half.
can smell it. And I do think it's more like the smoke or the tar is coming through actually on this one for some reason. Or something like matchstick.
You know what I was getting my first smell was like, this is herbaceous.
Oh,
It smells like herbs.
Grass, a little bit like
Grass, herby. I don't know if it's oregano or rosemary, but it's herby. Like there's something very vegetal on it. They talk about, maybe it's in my head, but
No.
I was getting that for sure.
No, I can see kind of that earth, kind of even a little bit of dirt.
Yes.
Something organic about it.
I like that. Organic. I am getting fruit though. I'm getting red fruit. I'm getting kind of a cherry on it. Maybe a little spice. I am smelling a little spice. Maybe that's some of the smoke that you were getting as well.
Maybe a little bit of, for me, more of like a black pepper spice.
Okay. Yeah, there's something there's something spicy on it. It almost smells like it's oaked, but I don't think it is oaked. At least they didn't say they oaked it.
A little bit of molasses too. Maybe?
Oh, you're getting
Blackstrap
sweetness,
molasses.
like
Just
sweetness on it.
Yeah, but a little bit, the molasses can kind of also be Molassesy.
I like that. Molassesy.
Kind of that black strap.
Such
Molassesy.
a good description of molasses.
If somebody asked me, what does molasses taste like? I'd say molassesy.
Are you dumb?
Sheesh.
Okay, anyway, let's taste it and see what we think.
Okay. More tannins.
More tannin. It's, at the end, it's kind of like bitter. It is a little hot. I wonder if it is a little young. I almost feel like maybe it has too much alcohol, like it's a little out of balance.
I kind of like this wine.
You do. What do you like about it?
Well, again, it's kind of rich, but like not in like a punch you in the face. And I know it's not supposed to be that way, but it does kind of have a maple or molasses.
You're really getting sweet.
Yeah, I don't know.
It.
Well, not necessarily sweet.
I know what you're getting at. There's almost that like bitter.
Kind of like like a molasses cookie.
Yeah.
Or like a gingerbread.
Spicy.
Yeah, sort of like a gingerbread type of taste.
I'm with you. It's a little, it's like, no, I'm with you. You. It's not like screaming fruit out at me.
Not really.
But there's a juiciness to it in a strange way. I don't know how to express that, but it's like there is something juicy about it. Maybe it's about the mouthfeel, but it's, I think it'd be really good with food.
Yeah, I think so too. What would you eat?
I think this is pretty versatile. Like, I think this is red meat. Mm-hmm. I think it's pasta with red sauce. Mm-hmm. I think it's
pizza.
I think it's pesto. I think you have a pesto sauce.
You could do something garlicky with this.
I think you could do a creamy sauce. I think you could do a stuffed chicken. I think this is super versatile. I actually think I think you do spicy food with this wine. I think you could do like a pad thai with this would be really good.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You made butter chicken last night. Mm-hmm. I think it'd be good with this wine.
It would be nice.
There's something about the not punch you in the face quality of this is what I would call. It is kind of growing on me. It's not just because you said so, but this is what I would call a little bit more of an elegant wine. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have as much fruit as maybe I would want it to have. And I'm feeling like it's more balanced than I thought it was initially as well.
Yeah.
It's pretty pleasant.
It's nice. I think so too.
Okay. Any other foods you might pair with this?
No, I agree. I think you could really do a lot with this. And it's not like the other one felt kind of like a fall wine. I just was getting that in my head. This, I think you could drink. I mean, you could drink this in the summer. You could have this at like a barbecue outside.
You could chill this wine.
You could totally chill this. You could have grilled foods.
I think this would be really nice chilled in a picnic. Mm-hmm. It would be really tasty.
Yeah, I agree.
So what rating are you going to give it?
I'm giving this one a 7.
I am too. I like it. I would buy it.
Great.
Now, the big question, the tough question, Carmela. Which of these are you finishing tonight?
Oh, the Caken.
Caken, shaken, caken.
And look at that strange label.
What do you think of the label? Talk about it. Talk about it, sister.
There's like a goose on the front, and he's got a little cap on his head, like he's traveling.
Traveling goose.
He's got a little pair of binoculars and like a little compass and a globe. Yeah, he's definitely traveling.
Is he cute?
In his own special way.
Well, let's talk about the taste profiles expected from Cabernet Franc.
Okay.
The taste profile can be heavily impacted by climate, says the interwebs. Warmer climates make heavier and bigger wines. Now, this is a warmer climate wine, so maybe that's why it's a little bit more of a mouthfeel to it. It should have fruits like raspberry, strawberry, black cherry, blackberry, and red currant. It could have herbal or earthy flavors like bell pepper, tobacco, dried herbs, pencil shavings, and graphite, which is pencil lead. Mm-hmm. It could be floral like violet and other spices like black pepper, hints of chocolate or mocha, and sometimes even minerality.
Okay.
Now, the Henri Bourgeois wine, the winery says crisp and fruity. Mm-hmm. This red wine develops the harmonious notes of red fruits, so representative of the Loire vineyards. Aromas of strawberries, red currants, and cherries with hints of spice. A wonderful freshness makes this wine delicate and easy to drink.
Okay.
I mean, It's I don't know. I think it was a little like that's giving it a little bit more liveliness than I think it actually had.
Yeah, I agree.
Wilfred Wong, who liked it, said fresh, fruity, and pleasing. This wine exhibits aromas and flavors of active red fruits. Active.
Wow. Okay.
Not passive.
But active red fruit.
Okay. If I'm gonna have a red fruit, I want it to be active, not passive.
Why would you want it any way else?
I don't know.
Okay.
The Caken, the winery says the nose is attractive aromas of ripe peppers and minty herbs.
Okay.
The palate has an alluring fresh sensation and very soft tannins. Vinny said the aromas feature ash and blackberry with herbs, pepper, and pyrazine notes.
What's pyrazine?
I'm gonna look that up. Right, live. We're doing this live.
Okay.
It's a heterocyclic aromatic organic compound with a chemical formula. I don't.
What? Who came up with that?
I don't know.
Huh.
Okay, let me just do this. It's found in cigarettes.
Oh, well, the last smoke I had. I'm not a smoker, you guys.
Astringent, sharp, bitter, and nasty is how it is described.
Oh,
I don't know that I would say that. Okay, anyway. And then indulgent with a taut palate and slightly rugged texture. The tannins have good volume. I actually think that's not a bad description of it. And we were getting herbs. I think you got pepper and you're getting some spiciness.
I was getting that molasses nobody talked about.
Maybe that's the pyrazine.
Okay,
cigarettes.
maybe.
Cigarettes.
Because there is about molasses though.
And cigarettes.
True.
And they are plants.
Ooh.
Okay, Carmela, what's the verdict on Cabernet Franc?
Oh, I'm down. I think it's something we should continue to explore and try. Mm-hmm. But I think we prefer it to Cabernet Sauvignon anyway.
Yeah, I agree. I do think, both of these wines just came right out of the cellar. So they were like cellar temperature. They weren't like super warm. I actually think they could be colder. Mm-hmm. I actually think I should have popped them. I should have done the 2020 and popped them into the fridge a little bit because I think they'd taste really nice cold. So I like it. I think this is a good summer wine.
Yeah.
I think and here's why, because you can chill it and because I think it will go well with grilled, like the foods you would have in the summer, eating al fresco, a picnic, that kind of stuff. I think it's a good call. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Carmela, it's time for us to go. But before we do, we want to thank you very much for listening to us. And if you haven't had a chance to do so yet, now would be the perfect time to follow and subscribe to our podcast. And also such an amazing time to leave us a nice rating and review on our website or Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever the you listen to us. Just do it. Do it. Live it up. And we love to hear from you. We want to hear about wines you'd like us to taste and review or other feedback you have. We always respond to you. So leave a message for us on our website, thewinepairpodcast.com. And again, you can join our email newsletter there. And if you missed our last newsletter, I will send you the last one. You can also reach out to us at joe@thewinepairpodcast.com. You can DM us on social. We always respond. Don't we, Carmela? Don't we?
We always do. Yep, we always do, Joe.
And with that, we're going to sign off. So thank you again, and we'll see you next time. And as we like to say, life is short. So stop drinking. I said that. Stop drinking shitty wine. Goodbye.
Bye.